But when I get laid off about a year ago, for some reason, I get this idea in my mind that instead of like being a normal person and just getting another job in tech again, that I should try doing YouTube instead. So yeah. Hear ye, seekers of the truth. Seek hard for the truth and accept no lies. The lie is easy, but the truth is hard. The lie will comfort you and then devour you. But to those who seek after the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. Hey guys. So, we seem to have found ourselves in a little bit of a pickle, in the sense that we may have made a grave mistake in the career planning department. Let me explain. So I used to be in tech, and I used to be a programmer. But when I get laid off about a year ago, for some reason, I get this idea in my mind that instead of like being a normal person and just getting another job in tech again, that I should try doing YouTube instead. So yeah, I think herein lies the problem, which is that we've gotten far enough from tech now where, in my opinion, going back to that place is just not a very realistic proposition. But on the other hand, I haven't quite figured out this YouTube thing. So, there's a lot of unknowns. It's like the way forward is very unknown, and I really have no idea of what is going to happen to me and what is going to happen to my future, I guess. Leaving the tech industry was not a small decision for me. I think it's really the culmination of everything that has been happening to me ever since I was even a child, Because when I was a child, I was always searching for this homeness, I was always searching for this place, and I was always searching for purpose and meaning. And honestly, for a very long time, I thought that I would find it, when I got a career and when I started making money, and when I had, I guess, a place in the corporate world. But it turns out that after 3 years in the tech industry, I can firmly conclude that I was not able to find home in the tech industry. When I was just recently laid off from the tech industry, I actually did spend a couple of months trying to get back in and trying to get another job in the same industry. But I think as I slowed down and I started to think, I really realized that I don't think that that is the place where I ultimately belong. I really started to think back to my high school days and my, I guess, younger days, where I spent a lot of time doing things like playing music and writing and art. I really do wonder if getting laid off was really much more of a blessing than a curse. Because I think that in my downtime, I think I've kind of found this aspect of me that I knew when I was younger, but that I had lost over time when I went to university and when I started work and when I started just, getting into the wide world. And perhaps this is a part of me that I want back. So let me explain. Nothing at all. I thought that if I had all the money, then I'd have no problems at all. Ever since I was a child, there always seemed to be two sides of me that were warring within. There was this side of me that was the romantic side that believed in things like goodness and truth and beauty, this side that was always optimistic and always had hope, hope of things that were possible, but, that we couldn't quite see just yet. But on this other hand, there was also this pessimistic side of me. Like perhaps it was gained through my experience of life, where when I was a child, our family wasn't really well off, and we were immigrants, and I guess my parents, they did do for us whatever they could, and I do appreciate whatever sacrifices they did make for me and my sister. But oftentimes I would hear them like arguing and worrying about money. So I guess part of me was not really believing in the hopeful things, but just seeing the cold, hard truth of life where, I don't know, perhaps there is no goodness, like perhaps there is no truth, perhaps there is no purpose, and, perhaps we're just here to live unfulfilled lives doing unfulfilled things and just trying to eke by having some sort of subsistence. To make this clear, like I'm not trying to put any sort of blame on my parents. I'm not saying that, it's my parents that gave me a hopeless life. It's like I do really appreciate my parents, and I do understand the difficult circumstances they were in, and I am eternally grateful for the sacrifices that they have made to themselves to provide for me and my sister when we were growing up. But I do remember this incident. It happened in either grade 11 or grade 12 with my mother, where I remember telling her that when I went to when I was going to university, I wanted to study music. And I remember that she just flat out told me that, no, son, you can't study music. Like something to the degree of like, I don't think you're a talented musician. I don't think you can make it. I don't think it's possible. And yeah, I think at that time I really did believe it. So, I think what really affected me in that situation was that I remember my mother always telling me that no matter what I would do or no matter what I wanted to do, that she would wholeheartedly support me. And I guess as a child you really do believe your parents when they say that. But perhaps there's like a part of your parents also that are fearful of the future. I think we just need to not take it personally when stuff like that happens. I mean, after all, this vision that you do have it is really between you and God, and I guess maybe even your family won't be able to understand it. For the eyes of the Lord move to and fro throughout the earth, that he may strongly support those whose heart is completely his.
But I think that we're doing a disservice by constantly saying the world's going to end. And those horrific times in human history, you will know when we're in the tribulation. The sun will be darkened, the moon will not give light, the stars will fall.
Solomon. It is I, God. Now, ask of me, what do you wish for me to grant you? Wow. I mean, God, I could ask for endless riches or eternal youth, or maybe even the destruction of my enemies. But God, please give me wisdom.
Nothing at all. I thought that if I had all the money, then I'd have no problems at all.